Welcome to another episode of Ruff Talk VR, a weekly podcast with in-depth game reviews, exclusive developer interviews, and the latest MetaQuest and virtual reality news. We join our hosts, the father-son team of D. Scruffles and Stratus today, as they spend another episode breaking down and discussing the world of virtual reality.
Hey, welcome to this episode of Ruff Talk VR. Coming at you with a fun episode. Well, what I anticipate to be a fun episode, at least. I can't see the future, but yeah, that's a good point.
I haven't had an unfun one yet.
That's true. And we have plenty of games to talk about today. Hands-on experiences with games, as well a slew of news to discuss. So I anticipate a pretty fun episode ahead. I mean, last week we talked a bit about your first impressions with Wanderer, the Fragments of Fate.
Wanderer.
Playing on the MetaQuest. That's important to specify.
Absolutely.
And at the time of discussing it last week, I hadn't hopped in yet. So I was just, getting hyped off of your energy off of it. And there was some mixed things on the store at the time we had talked about it last week. It was in the mid 3 stars. I'll check what it is in a moment. But I had heard some complaints about graphics, functionality, I guess you could say, performance, as well as some design choices. And then I was hearing you talk about it, and it sounded like a great freaking experience. Mm-hmm. So I needed to hop in this. And now, having hopped in it myself, I'm not as far as you yet. Obviously, you're about a week ahead of me. Dude, this might be... I'm hesitant. I'm kind of I'm almost biting my tongue because I don't want to say it. And then midway through the experience, I actually disagree with myself. But thus far, this might be the best release I've experienced this year in VR.
In 25?
Yeah. This is there's times where the graphics are better than others for sure, but there's some scenes that are just mind-blowing graphically. Some of the interactions are great. Obviously, there's some things that I wish I could interact with that I can't, but...
Yeah, as far as performance, if they do there's a couple of tweaks if they can pull off, and I'll say one of them would be the fighting. And then there was another issue. I think we actually talk about it later on in the news. In fact, we do, but they did fix something that I've had happen to me. And then I think they're getting ready for another, but that'll come up. But I'm having a good time. I am spending way more time than it really takes to complete the game.
100%. Just messing around with stuff.
Yeah. And I think it's 10 hours or something.
Yeah.
People are getting out of it. And it's
it'll be 20 for me, easy.
Somebody who does a full walkthrough video, it's almost 7 hours. And it's
that means they knew what to do.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're not in there farting around. So
that doesn't mean you got stuck on any puzzles.
Dude,
there's puzzles in this game.
Some of these puzzles there's a different way of thinking I've realized with, and it's not really a spoiler, I guess. But in some cases, you're going to have 2 characters. And I finally realized the importance and benefit of being somewhere and then going back and then going somewhere else so I can see my character to potentially do something else. Those who've played totally probably know what I'm talking about, but I didn't know that for a good solid day and a half. So legit, dude, when we played the other night, I was like, I'll go in and play for 20 minutes, but I already freaking know I'm not going to solve this puzzle. And I don't want to really cheat. Even with my little helper guy, he's not giving me the answer I want.
Love that dude as well.
Yeah, and I don't feel guilty pressing the button at all because he'll never really, in the early part in your room, he'll tell you the answer to one thing I know. But when I've needed him to really come through and come on, man, just tell me what I need to do. He speaks in riddle, you're not getting a straight answer. So for that, I appreciate it because even if you want the help, you're not going to fully solve your problem. Mm-hmm. Even if you progress further in your problem and be okay, I got through that. Now what? And he says the same damn thing he said before. So you're damn, I'm no better off. But yeah, dude, I'm really loving it.
Great story. Great navigation, the parkour and the climbing and the rope swinging.
I admit dude.
The first time I used the rope, I went to go launch myself with it instead of using it to grab the next thing.
There's a part I had to go back to my house and get an axe, or I'm sorry, my crowbar.
Mm-hmm. Oh, dude, I love the sliding to do that mechanic.
No, there was something I was on and there's rope out of reach and I couldn't throw myself at it. And I'm like, how the hell? I'm never going to get the rope. I'm like, I'm doing something wrong. And I'm like, knowing how this game has been so far. So I went and I held on to something above me and took the crowbar out and I pulled the rope up to me. I swear to God, it took me like 3 times. I fell 3 times doing this, but I'm like, it has to work this way.
I'm not confident that what you did here was the correct thing to do.
And then
but it sounds like it worked.
Let go and grabbed it with my hand, popped the crowbar in my backpack, swung to the thing. And
dude, peak VR right there. Am I wrong?
I'm able to climb with an axe and a crowbar. I can climb almost anything that has something to latch onto. It just won't let you onto ledges until specific points. But yeah, I spend a lot of time just trying to climb shit I'm not supposed to.
With
and
objects?
It lets me. Yeah.
That's awesome. See,
and
the
like
game's
you said, the hooking on the...
And then sliding with it?
Yeah. I'm not upset about what I'm playing so far at all.
I mean, the biggest issue with it, I think, is going to come down to the $49.99, $50. It's going to be, is it worth it?
Prices are steep.
I'm not through the game
yet. It was $24.99?
Oh my God, $30, and it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see what the
entire experience, if it comes down to it, when I finish this, do I go, was this worth $50? And again, we got this through, we talked about this last week, but should say it again.
Yeah.
We got access for it through the MetaQuest Creator Program. We did not each spend $50 on it. So I'm very cautious with my words of saying, like, yes, it is worth this value when that amount didn't come out of my bank account. You know what I mean?
It's got a 3.4.
It's climbing. I mean, again, I think
only 200 plus ratings.
That's pretty good, though. I mean, for having been out a little over a week.
I got faith that if they make some proper fixes, you'll see those numbers change.
Yeah, I think that the hardest selling point is not the performance issues that I've heard people talk about, or even the combat. While admittingly it is not the most polished, I've come to just be an assassin and throw knives at people and take them out, and it's pretty smooth when you play like that, you know? Anyway, though, I think that those aren't the hindrance or the possibility of it not doing well. I think the real issue is, again, the price tag. It's steep, which I'm not against people making money. But it's just out of the norm for what's current in VR.
Well, someone's got to do it. I mean, GTA come out tomorrow and say $89.99.
And people are going to pay it.
Who's going to bitch?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're expecting it. Dude, I already know flat screen. What do you think it's going to cost?
People paid over $100 for some editions of flat screen Civ 7 at launch. So I mean, like,
well, you're in it pretty deep.
So it's just
because you own 7 on flat screen end.
Yeah, got the edition that comes with all the upcoming DLCs on flat screen too. So you do the math there.
Yep. Per year for life.
I think it's like, don't quote me on this. It was something like that. There was like 4 or 5 upcoming confirmed DLCs for flat screen.
For flat screen, yeah.
Whereas with VR, as of today, there's not going to be any additional DLCs.
I think we're just going to see a slew of bug fixes. Is it?
You know what the best way for them to change though? The easiest, guaranteed way to get more content for Civ 7 VR. It sell good. The easiest way for it to not get any other content is if it doesn't sell good. Like, sales speak to developers more than anything, right?
Yeah.
If they make a fuck ton of money off of it, they're going to go, let's sell these DLCs and make a fuck ton more money. If they don't make anything, they're going to be like, let's not put any.
What blew my mind is when I looked at how much as a franchise Civ is made.
Oh, no, it's sick. The sales on flat screen. Dude, if you go on the Steam active players,
it's an astronomical amount of money.
Every edition of Civ on flat screen has in the tens of thousands for active players at any moment. I'm talking not the newest Civ.
Yeah,
Civ 4, Civ 5, they're all like 20,000 plus active players. It's nuts.
Yeah. So it's like their appetizer of investment into VR. I totally understand them not, or anybody putting DLCs in it, but certainly fix the.
Yeah, and
just make it friendly for everyone.
We'll talk more Civ in just a moment. It's on the list, but I do want to say I'm loving Wander.
Yeah, so far I'm on week 2 now.
Like I said, probably my favorite experience that I've had so far in 2025.
Probably 10% through.
The story is great. The different I mean, hey, look, you start and you spoiler, Boston's in there.
Boston.
It's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Not the Boston that
looks just like it does today too. Huh?
Oh yeah, huh?
No, I'm just fucking with you. Boston's actually really pretty, man.
Yeah,
we talk a lot of shit, but Boston's nice.
Hey, it's one of the. I mean, dude, that's an OG city in the States.
Especially if you can go by the shore and stuff. It's like there's
PAX East coming up. I know what you're doing.
What's that?
Trying to sell it to the developers right now. Hey, I know I talk a lot of shit about the city, but
hey, it's
not a bad place. Come to our convention,
nice,
you know?
Nice people.
Come to the PAX East.
Got the hotels right there in walking distance. Beautiful people. New England in May? I mean, dude, nice weather.
Incredibly friendly people.
Ah, jeez. Jeez.
Anyway, though.
Dude, you know what they got going on in Boston? I think right now? That Asian outdoor festival where it's all street food vendors from around the world. Heavy emphasis on like Japan, China, and it looks fucking awesome. But anyways, you could be part of that if you came to PAX East.
Come on, we're just trying to get as many VR developers as we can.
You'd think we work for PAX East, but no, the scene needs to.
If we did, there'd probably be more VR developers there.
I'll be. We're big into full disclosure, so here's my full disclosure. This is the last year I'll invest my time and money into attending PAX East,
unless there's a bigger VR scene.
If the VR scene is stagnant,
well,
when I can go to other events
this year, we do have confirmed Shell Games.
Yeah,
Alchemy Labs.
Shell's been there
weirdly
years and years.
They were there last year.
Yeah,
weren't
they there 2 years ago? No,
they were there last year. They were fun to hang out with last year. And Resolution Games was there 2 years ago. They're not there this year. But Alchemy Labs that's going to be fun. And weirdly, I have no idea why. This could be actually even a technical mistake.
Just a typo.
So I'm not saying that it means anything. I am just saying when I go to the PAX East website and I view vendors or I view the exhibitors and I search by VR, I browse the VR section. The first one on the list that comes up is Atari. So I don't know what that means.
Well, we'll know.
I just know that they're under the VR section. I don't know why. It could even be a mistake.
We'll see if it gets fixed in a week or two.
But they're there under VR. And so is Shell Games and Alchemy Labs. So at the very least, we'll be able to see.
I wonder who from Alchemy. You think the
Sea Owl?
The CE Owl.
Let's go. I hope so.
You know what?
I'll play some dimensional. I'll play some Dimensional Double Shift. We can do a little interview with him.
You think they'll
Dimensional Double Shift is fun, dude.
You know, Resolution and Shell had probably the best sized booth setups for dude, Peaky Blinders though.
Peaky Blinders was great with the whole setup and stuff.
They rolled in with like the $1 million room.
Yeah, it's not that was crazy. If it's not too late and you're a developer, like I said, I can trying to hype up PAX East.
I mean, it's cheaper than a lot of other events.
We talked to Mateo 311.
Yeah.
He said that he secured a bunch of Quest headsets in the free play area.
He's giving away Quest headsets? If you find Mateo at PAX?
No, that's not the case.
If you find Mateo 311, he'll give you a Quest 3 headset?
No, we're getting some East Coast trolling humor there. No, but legitimately,
I'll bet you if he heard it, though, he'd probably pony one up for somebody, you know?
There's a bunch of headsets, Quest headsets in the VR free play area, which past years and last year and stuff, it was like older headsets with not really modern games at all.
Yeah.
Now you get to use a Quest 3. So that's a good score.
Huge upgrade. And I agree with him in his vocality of trying to get meta because he has been vocal. And
I mean,
it's not just in social media where like he puts it out there to like, hey, meta should be more involved with. No, he has legit been vocal to people behind the scenes to be like, meta should have a presence. And it's nice that people know that because what you're seeing is actually what you're getting on the back end.
Somebody just out there minding their business at an event.
Yeah.
with the meta tag on. Hey, why the fuck aren't you guys at PAX East? You know?
Yeah, no lie, man. Maybe not that aggro. The New York City really bleeding out.
Back him in a corner, you know?
No, it was cool to see him last week.
Yeah, always.
That was last week, 2 weeks ago.
We'll get into that in a moment, but I mean, the reality is, any event we go to, hanging out with the other creators and VR developers and the people we work with behind the scenes is always the coolest aspect. Doesn't matter what the event is.
You know what sucks? I don't know if we're going to run across the Grey Wolves this year.
Well, I'm getting the feeling that
Makes me sad.
Gamescom isn't a thing for us this year. I'm getting it's going to be a thing, but
Oh yeah, Gamescom's going on. I'm just
I don't think we'll be there.
I do everything percentage. And
I don't think Meta's dropping a headset this year.
No.
So I don't think that will be at Connect or anything.
Shouldn't be a reason, really. If we are, then there's a really good reason.
Which is unfortunate. Okay.
Damn good mangoes.
Gamescom's an expensive one to get out to. I'd almost even just like to know I had an invite to Connect, and if I could figure it out by other means besides the...
Oh, here's your invitation. Just
and if
get
you
here
can,
on your own.
Yeah, that would be nice. Because let's be real. There's 2 events last year that like warmed my heart to be at. It was Gamescom and Connect. And because the reason for that was the moments where we saw developers and it was like trying to walk 10 feet and in that 10 feet getting stopped by 5 different people and it taking an hour to do anything. That was the coolest experience.
Gamescom was a little intense.
So which one of those 2 is probably easier for me to get to on my own terms? Probably easier to get to the West Coast than Germany, right? So, I mean, geez, if I could at least even just get the invite.
Almost the same amount of fly time.
You get what I'm saying, though? If I could even just get me the invite, even, you know? But then, anyway.
Yeah, I'm thinking both of those are off the table for this year, at least.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember what we were talking about that led to that comment.
I don't know. Just went down a dark road real quick.
We were talking, there's a reason that we had said that, you know? I'll listen to it on the editing and be like, damn, we never even finished that train of thought on that.
Which is totally possible.
It's okay. We were talking about the best parts being seeing the other creators.
Yeah.
And you,
yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff,
And
the other
I got sad
developers
about
and stuff.
The Grey Wolves.
Yes.
I really want to see them.
Mm-hmm. Good peoples.
And they were literally on the other side of the country.
They would have been a fun one to have at the Civ event that we'll talk about in a moment. Anyway, though, in closing on this part, then we'll get to the Civ event. Wanderer, the Fragments of Fate, you know, not a full review, not a full, you must buy this or anything. I'm just saying, thus far, I'm having a splendid time. Like, I'm absolutely blown away. I've heard the criticism some people have. I've had occasional little frame rate drops, especially when like going it through a door into a newer area and stuff, but nothing that really ruins the experience at all. Just a great VR game. Really like takes advantage of what makes VR great. It's not just a story.
I got nothing bad to say right now.
Yeah.
Other than just a couple of comments I had.
I've had to peel you away from it into other games. We haven't really mentioned that part.
Yeah.
I try to get you to play other things, and it's like, there was even one day I was trying to get you to play Civ multiplayer.
Yeah.
And you kept being like,
5 more minutes.
Just one more minute. I just need to do this. I heard
something.
1 more minute for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And the worst part was, by the time you're like, I'm ready, I was like, just give me 1 minute because I'm just figured out this puzzle.
Yeah. Now you were in it.
Yep. It's a great game. It's a great freaking game.
I'm having fun.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I hope in this process of doing it, you know, maybe an update or 2 that'll make it even a little better in some areas where it does need to improve. But dude, I love puzzles. You had me so hyped for this fucking game.
It's funny that you've spent so much more time in it than me so far too.
So let's see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
We'll check in every week.
But so far,
I don't think I'll be done by next week. Not even close.
So far, damn.
Yep.
Damn. It's a good experience.
I like it.
And then, you know, I'll actually skip ahead to this one. I'll go back to the other one on the list after.
Mm-hmm.
We referenced this a little bit last week, but now that the game's out, I feel a little bit safer. Like, nobody's more cautious of NDAs and like breaking embargoes than me and you.
Yeah.
Even if it's like, no, you can just navigate. Just don't say, it's like, nope, I'm just I'm just waiting. I don't trust myself. I
We
get
were there.
excited. I get caffeinated. I start drinking coffee. Next thing I know, it's like, shit. So we didn't really go into too much detail, but the other week we went to a Civ 7 VR event in New York City where we got to get a hands-on preview of Civilization VII VR, which listeners of this podcast, longtime listeners, they'll know we have wanted Civ in VR for so long. I mean, how many weeks have I just randomly found a way? It's not even it doesn't fit at all
Make a
in
good
the discussion.
Game,
And I go, hey, how about interviews?
Mm-hmm.
Interviews.
Any
It's
developer
totally
that would, dude, in Germany.
totally inappropriate. Dude, walking up to people. So you think Civilization will work in VR?
And based on some of the answers some devs, I'll leave nameless, had given us,
Or it's basically like bugger off. It's in the works.
I feel like they knew.
Yeah.
Especially, it could have been emoji response, but it was like,
Winky faces.
yeah. I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, that would be great.
They already knew.
But anyways.
And they even knew who was working on it.
Yeah.
So, no, good. Great job keeping it under wraps, though.
I mean, this had to be in the works for a while because, all right. So anyway.
2 years at least, right?
So we go to this event in New York City to get a hands-on preview through the MetaQuest Creator Program, as well. It was hosted by 2K and Firaxis, the developers and publisher of the OG Civilization. But Civilization 7 VR is also made by PlaySide specifically. The VR version is made by PlaySide Studios. It was smart, I think, to partner with a studio that has VR experience versus like, hey, we're a big company, let's try to do it ourselves in-house, and then
I mean,
it's a disaster.
Cheaper for them to just pay someone. It's not like they're hurting on the budget end of things.
Correct. And to take that time the benefit then, if they did it in-house, then they would have people in their company that know how to do VR, but then you better be committed to VR after,
Wouldn't have
you
to
can't
let
just
them
do
go
after.
after.
You can't just do this one-off thing. Yeah. So we got to go there, stay at a beautiful hotel in New York City as well too. We were debating coming back home the same night after the event, but being in a nice hotel, that's a pretty easy stay. Pretty easy to convince me to spend the night. Mm-hmm. So we show up, took a nice bus from beautiful Massachusetts to New York City, and then we got to demo Civ 7 VR, get a little hands-on preview of it, and then afterwards we got to hang out with some creators, like Mateo311. You said that we saw him last week. Figured it was good to explain where we saw him. Saw him at this Civ 7 event.
He's 30 minutes away.
He's actually really not that far.
No.
That's a good point
30,
as well
40
too.
minutes.
Jay Bratt was there.
Yep.
Adam Bomb Body, as well as some other flat screen creators as well
Peeps
too.
I've never met before.
No, one of them was like a Twitch streamer that played Elden Ring with a dance pad or a sketch pad or something like that. So that's some level of gaming.
D&D person too, right?
That's some yes, a very big D&D podcast person there as well too. So we were kind of the small fish there, if I must say, man. We were the tadpoles.
Well, in the VR space, they're tadpoles.
Correct. They were big in like the gaming sphere.
Yeah, for what they do, they're pretty damn big.
Mm-hmm. So that was cool.
I won't. As you talk about not wanting to say what you shouldn't say, so I won't say the whole thing, but the package that the flat screen players received by being introduced into VR, I thought was really nice.
I hope some of them stick with playing VR more after it.
I'll just say that they were all the flat screeners that were, it seemed like at least 80% were new to VR or had never tried it. Mm-hmm. They left with, the ability to keep trying it if they want. And I thought that was just a nice touch, because what better way to, like if you never played flat screen and you went to a flat screen event and you left with the ability to play flat, you'd be like, wow, that was nice.
Mm-hmm. And it
was cool to see the two creation worlds
I actually
combined.
really liked that setup. There were some cool, we met some cool people that we would never meet at another VR event or anything.
Yeah. Why? And vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like the worlds would never collide. So it was cool to see that put together.
We even met some cool people from like the 2K side of things as well as the Firaxis side. So it was like awesome. Dude, the networking and meeting the other people is always the best part.
What I liked too it was more of an intimate group in numbers compared to like what a
100
normal
group event or anything. Not that that's the normal, but I'm just being exaggerative.
Right. Just look
for,
at
like,
the
the
look at
opposite.
the massiveness of Connect, right?
Mhm.
At the end of the day, not just the people that come out as part of like the creator program. It's thousands of fucking people, dude. It's a lot of people. So this was legit. It wasn't like these groups ran into like
Mhm.
bigger groups. It was like this was the group. It was not very huge,
Mhm.
and it gave more of an opportunity for
Networking and
for talking to people.
conversation
Yeah,
and stuff,
yeah. Because I mean, I'm sure everyone knows how it goes. You get engaged with a conversation with someone, you're going to talk to that person for a good 10, 15 minutes. But if the audience around you is small in comparison to like what other events could be in size, it's a lot easier for everybody to take part in those conversations. So no, I really like the way that whoever put the whole thing together, it was thought out really well.
Mm-hmm. No, it was, and the whole structure of it was great. Like I said, we show up, mingle a little bit with some of the other creators that we've already met, get to kind of get a preview of who we're going to see. Then they give us a nice briefing of like what Civilization VII VR is. And then the reality kind of hit me that some of the VR creators here, because all the flat screen creators were there because they're people that play Civ.
Yeah.
Some of these VR people, I mean, I'm here. I think that they brought us there because
Boom, shut up about Civ.
yeah, we talk about Civ every week.
Let's shut them up.
That might not be the case with every person in that room. So they gave a really nice overview of what a 4X game is,
I think
what Civ is
I think at least one of the creators was not
at
a
all.
Civ player, but the excitement that they had
Mhm.
in playing it and saying all the things they did was real.
Mhm.
I was like, oh shit, I wish this could have been. That was probably one of the most genuine. I mean, I guess shame on the event for not having cameras in your face right after you're done. Like legit, like forced shit. Because that was legit. Like, oh my god, and I did this, and I did that, and I did this, and I'm like, oh my god, I believe you. You know, it was pretty.
I
cool.
heard one guy in his limited time, he was talking about how much war he went in, and like he was like, I was just in battle with the dude.
Yeah,
But anyway, so they gave that nice briefing, which was, even if you're an existing player of Civ and you're familiar of it, was really cool to go over the differences for Civ 7 specifically as well too, and like what you're going to expect in the demo. From there, we actually went to go hands on with it. Since we're a 2-man crew, we split our time and we both got to experience it. Which, of course, in a game like Civilization, dude, it's one more like you kill your headset
Need an
battery play.
hour.
Yes.
just
So
even like thinking
they
might
couldn't
know
have
what you're
given
doing.
enough time. Like there's no amount of time that they could have given that would have been enough, if that makes sense.
It was better than watching a trailer.
Correct. So I don't mean that negatively as well, too. I just mean like if we say at any point, like, needed to play it afterwards more, it's because of that. It's like it's the type of game it is.
I would think any demo though.
Correct. It's just a demo.
They're all time demos.
But then after that, we got a nice developer interview segment where it wasn't like
Q&A?
a Q&A, you could say, with there was somebody from the Firaxis team there as well as somebody from the Playside team. And it wasn't like a me and you interviewing them. It was, we were all kind of like a fireside chat inside a building, no fires, trust me.
100%.
And people were just kind of raising their hand and asking questions. And dude, I had so many questions. It was like, when you're starving and it's like a family style serve yourself event and you're like, I'm going to let everyone go first. And then I'm going to go to the end of the line because like I'm going to be a little picky with my plate and I don't want to, take away everything for everyone else either. So I was like a hungry man at a serve yourself food place. I let some people raise their hand, and then I saw like the silence, the awkwardness of like nobody else is asking a question. So pew, my hand goes up, finish that. Pew, hand goes up again. I hear someone else ask a question. Pew, I think I asked like 6 questions in total. And you were like, hey, dude, save it in case we interview them again sometime,
Right.
But I had some shit to ask. So that was awesome. Got to pick their brain. Like that's how we found out that there's not going to be, as of right now, no confirmed additional content like DLC or anything coming to the VR version. And then after that, we went to a nice dinner, hung out with the rest of the creators and the rest of the crew. And
Had an awesome dinner.
overall, just great experience. We could have been there the day before and hung out a little bit more the day after, but it was the week of our showcase as well too. Just
I got a job too, man.
yeah. So we went there the day of, and
Full disclosure, I don't get paid to go to events.
No.
It's called take it on the chin.
Not yet. Maybe one day.
You actually lose money, to be honest with you.
Oh, 100%. That's why I always say it, like, this isn't a beg for Patreon subs or anything like that, but like all said and done, it's a negative cash flow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially with
I know what you mean.
You said yes.
There's
I know what you mean.
There's a couple. We even talked about some of the shenanigans with air travel and all that. And it's like, you think you're like buying new tickets and they cancel it, and you're buying new tickets and canceling it. That shit's free. None of it is. It's like sometimes shit happens.
Anywho, though, this was a great event.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I got nothing bad to say. Weather was beautiful.
Hands on with Civ prior.
My favorite area of New York City. Boom. Plopped us right in the middle of it, which I couldn't have been happier about. I could be a little bitchy about the city.
We had dude, it was a beautiful area.
Got to haggle.
Yes, haggle the belt.
One of my favorite things to do in the city.
I love how passionate you get. Say it, because
I don't pay full price for nothing in the city.
Except food. I'll pay full price for food.
I don't haggle food. I don't haggle food. And
retail items.
This means I'm not walking into Macy's and being like, I'm haggling. But any store.
Like street vendors, especially, and like little
oh yeah,
pop-up things and
we're
stuff.
We're both going to win in this. I'm going to pay less and you're going to sell your day. I just
had to give you the disclosure. You're not out there haggling for kebabs and stuff,
I'll haggle for other people just to haggle, because it's something I enjoy doing in the city ever since I was a teenager. I bought a pair of moccasin boots.
I think for you, it's the fact that you can.
Yeah. I know they won't say no.
It's like it's part of the culture of it, I
was looking at those women's pants for sale and I'm like, oh, I wish our girls were here, because I'd go in there and we'd get 5 pairs of pants for like $15. No doubt.
And then
haggle, baby.
People who follow our YouTube channel will see that I did put out a early impressions video of Civ, and that was not based off of that limited demo at this thing. Do not worry. We actually did get access to Civ immediately after, and we're able to go hands-on with it. And I mean, I talked about it a bit in the video. Do you want to, dude, it's Civ 7 in VR. It's not like a spin-off or like some it's scaled down version.
I actually prefer it in VR over flat screen.
That was always what I thought would be the case, and it's so good to have it confirmed.
Why wouldn't it be? And that holds true for any freaking game like that. It's just Civ proof.
There's another one we'll talk about after this.
MR mode, virtual reality mode. Which one do you want? It's like at the end of the day, and then, dude, the way they have it laid out
with the war table,
it feels more like a tabletop game than it ever did on flat screen.
And Civ is modeled after a board game. Like that's how it's supposed to feel.
It's like, I'll take it over.
Don't you feel like
over flat?
They call it the war table. Don't you feel like a general, like managing?
You are.
Dude, it's so freaking good.
You are.
And again, we put out a video of it, so don't need to go over what happens when you first go into the game and everything like that. But there's some Civ 7 differences from the rest of the series, like before your world leader was locked in with your civilization, like you would pick, Teddy Roosevelt and you'd be the United States. Now you pick the leader and then you pick the civilization separately. And each time you change an age, you change your civilization as well too, which like sounds a little weird at first, but it kind of makes sense because like your goal early game is much different mid game and much different late game. So now you can be like, look, early game, I want to focus on my production and science. So I'm going to be this civilization, which also think of the way empires work. Like no empire, no country, even if it has the same name, it's never been the same empire and civilization through its entire time. Like it goes through different empires, different ages of its existence, right? So it actually kind of makes sense from a realistic standpoint as well, too. Dude, they pulled it off. I mean, like when you...
Little rough start for some.
I was going to get into that in a second. That was interesting because 2 people You downloaded it, and it worked flawless.
I had no issues.
I downloaded
No
it,
stuttering.
and I
nothing.
couldn't play the game.
No.
It was terrible. It was nauseating. If I looked one way and then I turned my head, the screen would stay where it is. And then I would see black everywhere. And then it would like snap into place. And like it was nonstop jittering. Even worse in mixed reality mode. I found out if I changed my headset tracking frequency from auto to 60 hertz, it was playable now. It wasn't perfect, but it was playable. But then the next day, the day after the game came out, they put out a day one patch, and all of those problems went away for me.
I was worried it was going to start causing me problems, but no, I feel very fortunate. I had no issues.
It hit them heavy on the story of yours.
Heavy is the price tag.
Well, it's a $60 game. So,
no joke.
In fairness to the consumer, you can't spend $60 and have performance issues like that. That's not.
I don't even know if in the VR space, in fairness to consumers, you can justify a $60 game.
Correct. It's the same thing that I said about Wanderer.
That's tough. I mean,
it is.
Even $10 cheaper.
The only
that's
benefit,
tough.
the only saving grace is that like it's cheaper than the flat screen version. So even though it's the most expensive VR,
one would argue it looks better in flat screen though.
I don't know, man.
Paying for that resolution.
I don't know, man. I think having the word leaders around your war table.
Oh, don't get it twisted.
Is way better.
I enjoy the VR version better.
Mm-hmm.
And that's totally me. I get if somebody was like, fuck you, dude.
Even doing like the negotiations when you're like doing the trade alliances or declaring war, like that screen and seeing the war leader there yip yapping over there, like it's freaking awesome. They killed it.
Confucius.
Yeah. We actually have a good multiplayer game going.
Confucius is my jam. Oh, dude, I got a crazy army now, though.
Well, because so you attacked Catherine pretty early.
Shadow Ward.
And it was cool because I was allies with both of you, actually.
Yeah.
And like we had open markets. Things were good. You attack her.
I went full-blown sucker punch.
Now, like your war with her, I see the two nations war referenced at the top of the alliances screen or like the negotiating screen. So it's like that conflict that you started is a forever history in this game. It's that war.
I'm writing history.
And then you have these influence points that you can use to spend on things like open market and stuff. And I could spend some influence points to pick a side in the war publicly. Not saying I'm going to support with troops and stuff. Just like, you know, hey, this person.
Politics.
Dude, that's crazy. You can do that. And then last time we played, I don't know if this was my smartest move because you're in full war economy now. Like you're pumping out troops and just like murking her. I should have just let you do your thing. I joined the war. I declared war on her too.
Well, she's crazy to focus her attention on you, but
she should be trying to make
she's
peace with me.
She's going to defend whatever attacks her.
So of where we left off last time we played, I'm sending all my troops north. They're like marching to whatever. I don't even. She has so many cities. I don't know how many she has left. I saw you take one. I know she still's got 2 left. So I don't know what's happening.
Steamrolling.
Oh yeah, but Civilization VII in VR.
And then remember, I thought I misunderstood you.
Oh, you thought I was coming for you?
Yeah, you were.
And I'm glad that you clarified.
Because I started putting, I put like 3. I'm like this motherfucker's gonna. He's telling me he's gonna attack me. I'm like, what kind of shit is this? Knowing I'm in a war. So I'm like, all right. So I took like one of my commanders and 2 of my troops, and I put one on right next to your border, another next to the border. So I had 3 ready to start marching in. I'm like, if you smack me, dude, I'm gonna move my. You're like, dude, I'm not attacking you. I'm gonna join. I'm joining you.
I am glad we clarified this.
And then you almost declared war on me a couple of times by accident.
Well, because I thought one of your cities I thought was Catherine's.
You're like, I almost declared war on you.
Yeah, I was like, why is it saying? I was like, oh, that's your city.
Yeah,
okay,
I'm having fun. I like it.
Too much fun. Kill my whole battery. If I had any complaints,
easily.
Oh, real quick before I say this part, mixed reality or VR? How do you
VR.
prefer it? You like 100%. The VR? You like the VR version?
Yeah. I want to be in the game, and I don't lose nothing by.
And you're in that nice like antique, like
dude,
that nice like.
It's authentic to what.
Okay.
I would like. They didn't hold back on to me the environment you're in VR, so I'm like, it works with the game perfect. I feel like I'm there.
The war table's huge in VR too.
The war table would be in mixed reality would be really cool if you could do co-location.
Then you could see the person's. Yeah.
But somehow the table only showed the view for the person viewing.
I believe somebody asked about co-location during the Q&A, and they were like, we explored it, but weren't able to fully commit to it. Yeah, to me, that's more the stuff of like, it depends on how the game does. It's unfortunate to see that it launched with those stutter issues because it massacred their store reviews.
But at the same time, Civ audiences expect some bullshit at launch on flat screen.
I saw other people saying that
so
too.
It's like, one could argue, hey, joke's on you. It's just, we did it on purpose. Because we know, which they didn't. They, of course, didn't want any issues. But it seems to happen with their franchise. And then they recover brutally, but financially, dude, they just are not hurting.
It's still at a 3.1.
Yeah, people are pissed.
Well, here's the thing. All the reviews, the 1-star reviews are about the stuttering issues that they fixed.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just not responding to the reviews at all.
Probably a little pissed off. They paid $60 for it. That's why.
No.
That shit hurts. No, meaning like I paid $60. I got stuttering issues. I'm not changing my review.
Well, no one's even... They might not even know it's been fixed. How would they know? Nobody's told them.
Oh, play it.
Like, it's crazy that they're just letting these reviews be 1-star. They didn't put any update on their page.
No dev response.
That's what I'm saying. There's no like, they should be responding to everyone, being like, "Dude, we updated the game. Change your review if it's better for you."
Nah, if you're a good leader, you'll figure it out.
You know, when there's like the developer post on the store page where it says there's none of that. They should have a post saying like, "We fixed our fucking game."
Well, maybe they're trying to take the attitude of, well, it was never broken. What are you talking about?
They're settling for 3.1 is what's happening. They could fix that. They're settling for that.
How many reviews we got there?
144.
So 144.
And 29% of them are 1-star and 33% is 5-star. But most of those 1-star are from 4 days ago.
Yeah.
None of the recent ones are bad.
They're still making bank at $60 a game.
I know, but you can't just settle with those.
But they know how, dude, if they use the same...
I know, but
same market,
they're not even trying.
Like you even said earlier, people are playing the oldest versions of Civ right now today.
It just hurts to see because
talk to us in 5 years, man.
They could have that to be over a 4-star in a week.
Sure.
If by weekend's end.
And it'll get there too. Maybe they like the challenge.
Oh,
but
man,
to me, it actually
painful.
is exactly what happens with their existing titles, you know. Well, I'm out of curiosity, not to be like a research pain, but I'm curious what the flat screen version's doing as far as on Steam, what its current rating is. Like, did they? I mean, obviously, we're talking. We're not apples to apples here, but
can I just say something quick? If you want to see toxic, you go on the Civilization subreddits.
No. That's why
nobody's happy there.
That's why we don't.
It's at a 3-star on the Google. It's mixed on Steam.
All right, mixed reviews on Steam. So this would seem somewhat accurate.
Okay, but it's different because like the complaint on.
Oh yeah, two different issues.
They've responded to some reviews too. It's like, just go through every single one, dog. I don't know what they're doing.
I mean, for the most part, they can copy paste the response because it is a fixed issue.
Just copy and paste it. Like,
and if like 10% of those are strictly because of those issues and they are fixed, I mean, it wouldn't take but an hour to.
The only reason I'm passionate about this is because, like, if this does bad, they're not doing other ones in VR. And Firaxis has so many great games that, like, this.
How do we know they're not already, though?
That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
I would actually make that argument.
I just look at it as if it sticks at 3.1. Imagine if this drops to 2.9. Like, they're in dangerous territories with that store rating. And, like, again, just do a developer post like that. Say, boom. It's so low lift.
I know.
It's so low lift what I'm telling them.
This just seems to jive with them.
I know. All right.
And I don't mean that in a negative way at all.
Anyway, they're letting that be a 3.1 because they fixed the issue. Like, it's different if it wasn't fixed yet, but they already fixed it and they're just not telling anyone.
Maybe someone in the office wants something to get pissed about.
I don't know what to say.
So they don't want to fix it.
I don't mean to throw anyone under the bus there either.
But it is fixed.
And it's a great game.
Yeah, dude, I like it.
Dude, we could spend 20 hours on this multiplayer save for on. I can already feel it.
Well, what makes... Well, that's kind of the whole thing with even though the VR adaptation is sped up a little, which you can change. So
you still got to think in your turns.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Especially we don't know the
drag
game
it
yet.
out as long as you want, and the replayability is what really I love about the.
We could. How about this? I'm not down. It's not that I'm not down to. I want to continue our save, but like we could just start a new one too. It'd be just as fun.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping this isn't a one and done.
No,
like,
dude.
Conquer the world, bro. Ready to move on.
Well, at some point, only one of us can win this.
I know.
So we'll be
that's not
allies
true.
till the
That's
end.
not true. We can just take over the.
Somebody has to win.
There's only 2 more people to beat up,
Somebody has to win.
and then we could just end the game and start a new one.
Somebody has to win.
Call it One Nation.
If I had any complaints on it, it's just the user interface on mixed reality. Sometimes the screens pop up in weird spaces, but they work better in VR. And I wish you could have more than, what is it, total of 5 people, I think.
Oh, to play at once?
I wish you could be like 8, 8 different civilizations in there. Like it just loaded up, baby. But I get why. Anyways, though, Civilization VII VR. If you're a Civ fan, you're in for a treat. Like it checks the box. It is freaking Civilization 7 in VR. I cannot believe that they did it.
So I would argue they should have swapped over Batman in the headsets for whatever was being produced. And I understand, certain things.
Oh, you think that now they should be giving Civ
should have, partly because we know Zuck loves Civ.
It all depends on how much. It's all speculation. People are assuming that Meta funded this. If that's the case,
I don't know if they funded it, but I know Zuck definitely had a hand in it. Yeah, there was. Let's be honest. When you're worth billions of dollars and you want something, it's not hard to get it.
I know we have much more to talk about too, and it's just we're rambling. But
next, he wants Red Alert 2.
Well, I was gonna say, there's another game that we're gonna talk about right next for real-time strategy. Turn-based strategy is great in VR. Now I want like the Warhammers. Total War.
You've preached Civ to the tallest mountain. I've said Red Alert 2.
Now I'm with.
Kill and destroy. Just give me.
Let's go down the strategy game list.
Yeah,
now I want the real time strategies. Because yesterday we checked out Crystal Commanders. Holy moly!
It's pretty fun, man.
It's not winning game of the year when I say holy moly, but for real time strategy games, I mean, there's Eternal Starlight proved it works, and Crystal Commanders does as well. It's freaking fun. It's got a little tower defensey with its real-time strategy elements, but
I like it. But all it did is make me just go, why can't I have an old-ass 30-year-old game in VR? I don't understand.
It is a classic style real-time strategy game. Crystal Commanders, it's like they use those classic real-time strategy game elements to it. You can play it VR and mixed reality. There's voice acting in it. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest.
I'm not a voice actor, so I can't throw any shade.
I'm not saying anything about the voice acting. I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know.
I know they just kind of throw you into the story.
I'm not in the first mission either.
Don't know why am what I am.
I don't know the story. And
There's
I don't think
good
I'm
guys and
ever
bad
going to
guys.
figure it out through the campaign.
You know how I know there's good guys and bad guys? The bad guys are red out.
Yes, there's clearly.
They look evil.
I'm hoping at one point I figure it out, but I don't think I'm ever going to. But it's a great game nonetheless.
I mean, I've got enough time into it now where I'm like, I'm actually, like, it doesn't matter at this point.
No, just let me start the mission. I don't think this campaign actually adds any value. I think it would be just as good just going level to level. You know what I mean?
Don't tell me shit. But they do have some dialogue.
Yes, there is a story in there. If you figure it out,
let me know.
You're a better man. You're a better person than I.
Yeah.
I haven't figured it out yet.
I mean,
I can give you a rough idea of what it is, but there's going to be some guessing.
Crystal Army. That's all you need to know.
But it is a classic real-time strategy game.
Yeah, I love it.
Proves that the genre can work. Now that I got Civ, I'm going with you now. Give us Red Alert. What else you can say? Crush, Kill, Destroy.
That's an oldie that KK and D, man. That was same style.
Let's get Total War.
Build armies.
Let's get the Total War games. That's where I'm turning my attention.
There's no reason you can't. I mean, you can't. Dude, the computers that these games ran on were not exactly
games.
like the most high-end machines to run it.
Let's
Yuri's
go.
Revenge. Oh man,
Yeah, dude.
so many good games.
I feel like the industry's warming up to the type
And
of
if they let
strategy
you
games.
have the map editor,
Mhm. Dude,
I'm not asking to play it.
How much better is it in VR? Like Civ proves it.
Zoom
Crystal
in, zoom
Commander
out.
proves it.
360
Pointing at your troops, highlighting them, like
drag them into the building.
so good. So we'll talk more Crystal Commander soon, but our first impressions of it, freaking solid game.
Yep, like it.
Mm-hmm. And then you check this out. Shame on me for not. Yeah, it's just
I was on it quick.
You've checked out Loop 1 done.
Loop 1 done, baby.
What's your thoughts on it?
I
heard your thoughts. I'm leading you. I'm feeding you in.
I came in hot through the front door with it. Dude,
I tried Loop 1 done. I was like,
yeah,
what?
no, mad addicting. My style of, it's production. You're just making a little production line, making money, unlocking new things. But I've only got maybe an hour into it. I have nothing bad to say about it. I ran into it's total 100% early access, not out yet. Trailers was on our showcase, but I've had no performance issues, nothing. Everything's doing what it's supposed to do. I'm just hoping and praying, and I know it's a solo dev, that there's a shit more things to unlock. I recently unlocked a little robot arm to help me. I don't know how many things there are to do or not do. I'll just say for the 1 hour I have in it, I'm mad addicted to it. Think about it a lot when I'm not playing it. It would sound silly because so far it's not like you're just generating money and making more little things to generate money. And it uses, hence the name, a loop. So pick up your drone, 15 seconds, tell your drone what you want it to do, put your drone back. It'll perform the duties. But it's pretty freaking cool to watch them all flying around too. So
I'm so excited. I was almost even trying to, dude. I was even debating hopping in before this episode.
I go, no, you need more time than that. You're just going to get to you're going to be so you're never going to take the headset off. Yeah, it's addicting. I don't know why. It's just, but you like that style of factory games too, right?
The first second we saw it.
Yeah.
Right?
Is that a factory? You're building a factory?
When they ever did that pan shot with that zoom out shot with everything.
So many of them.
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I give mad props. So I will watch this game and through its development. And I don't know. I don't know what he's going to sell it for. I'm sure it won't be $60. But I think
solo dev. He's in our Discord.
I think he has potential to do really well. I really do.
He's got something magic, and you see it.
Is he self-publishing too,
dude? He's just a solo dude. Yeah, fucking.
I mean, if I were a publisher, I'd be
in this dude's emails right now.
This is the one I'd be like, and I'd see what kind of creative control he might be willing to accept.
A highlight of our showcase, if you ask me. He was on our showcase.
I would say it's a sleeper.
We were blown away the second we saw it.
So if he doesn't have or is getting this one's, if I had the money, I'd be knocking on his door.
Yeah,
I won't lie.
Yeah, there's something mad. You know when you see a game and you're like,
it makes me mad a little that I can't. But I know the overhead's not going to be like, all right, 20 grand.
Yeah, it's nothing that we got.
It's going to take a lot of money.
But dude, that's for anyone who does, we're giving you.
Yeah,
we're telling you the gold mine.
It's at least worth checking out. Put your name on it proudly.
I think he works on a part-time too because he's not a full-time dev.
He's making a living. Could you imagine?
I hope this takes him full-time.
That's why I have a lot of questions about what the bigger picture is. What's the true picture? What's the end game for this?
Yeah, I got to check it out. So
how many different things am I going to get introduced to? Or is it just going to be like a very basic, or no, the robot arm was the last thing you'll
ever see in it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. But I want a lot.
You can just see the potential of it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's totally there.
So next week, we'll talk more opinions on it after I hop in it as well too. I am freaking pumped for it. So let's hop into our Patreon shout out as well. And then we'll plow through our news after because, we can go fast through all of them after because we did spend a lot of time having fun talking about, dude, what we've been playing the last week. If you ask me, that's the heart and soul of the podcast. That is what we're playing, what we're loving. Everything else, I mean, shit, we could stop the episode now, but there's a lot of good news to talk about as well, too. So, as always, we have hit that point in the show where we're going to give a little on-air shout-out for the members of our Patreon of our Patreon our Patreon supporters that are on our on-air shout-out list. Sorry about that stumble there. We have some returning names, and we do have a new one at the end there too. I'll shout out in a moment as well. But we have huge thank you to Asim, Amelia, Carson, Aspire Mike, Jake, Crispy, Shoes, and I'll just say Tom because I don't know if he wants to say in the last name, but that's Tom from Wemo Games, Battle Bows.
Really?
Yeah, now on our on-air shout-out tier. I got to get him in this is a little reminder to myself, I got to get him the Patreon role.
Yeah,
because he has the developer role. Great VR developer as well, too.
You know, in my stupid brain, I thought developers auto got the Patreon role.
Nope.
Just because of their status as developers. Yeah, I know. I don't know why it.
So, huge shout out to Tom. Great VR developer. He just put out a game with some friends on itch.io. But, Tom, if you listen to this, throw that shit on App Lab. Way easier to download.
App Lab.
Not App Lab, I'm sorry. Actually, just upload it on the MetaQuest store.
Wow.
Just upload it on the MetaQuest store. It's App Lab still.
Does it have gorilla movement?
Yeah, if Meta's not officially supporting your game, even if they don't call it App Lab, it's App Lab, but worse.
That was great.
It's the Wish app version of App
back
Lab.
in time.
No, because it's
Wish
still,
app version.
Because it still functions the same. They're not going to give your game any visibility. It's going to act exactly the same as App Lab. They're just not going to call it App Lab, and it's worse for everyone.
Yeah.
But anyway,
how do you really feel? How do you really feel?
I got many jokes to make right now.
How do you really feel about that store?
So again, huge thank you to those members on our on-air shout-out tier. Welcome to our newest member, Tom. And you can join that esteem list by visiting the link in our show notes, the Patreon link. And if you look real tight, you'll also find a Discord link in our episode description where you can join a community of Ruff Talk VR podcast listeners where we have great game meetups.
It's a good community, man.
VR discussion, little sub-niche topic discussion.
I feel safer in our Discord than I do my own house. It's safe. I mean, it's more protected for sure, man.
No, great spot to come and hang out.
Holy moly.
So go check out our Patreon. Go check out our Discord. Again, huge shout out, huge thank you to those members on our on-air shout out tier. And even more so, thank you to everyone that listens to all these rambles week after week.
Then we get you to work safely.
And now that we've talked the latest games we've been playing, our thoughts on them, that's a segment I want to get back to doing more and more on the podcast. Just, what we've been playing each week. If it's the same shit we've been playing the last week, there's not too much to discuss there, but, get into a little bit more of the informal, not fully dedicated reviews. And I'm going to say it so it commits us a little bit with this one. Since we did that Civ VR YouTube video last week, maybe we get into some more hands-on impression videos and review videos, YouTube style as well too. So stay tuned for more activity on our YouTube channel with a variety of deep dives into games. Anyway, though, into the news part. Got to kick it off with this one because this one's a wallet saver. I even saw somebody on Reddit say that they just listened to the podcast, but they don't have a Quest headset yet. So, there are people that listen without VR headsets, so it's relevant to them. Right now, the Quest 3S, which I do recommend, just go with the 3 for the best experience, but especially if you're buying multiple headsets for the family and the kids and stuff, the 3S is an incredible bargain. And right now, the Quest 3S is $30 off, which is insane for an already cheap headset. That means the 128 gigabyte model of the 3S is $270 right now. And the 256 gigabyte model is $370 right now. You can get a Quest 3S for $270, dude. And that comes still with Batman Arkham Shadow, as well as 3 months of Quest Plus.
Nah, dude.
That's an insane deal.
It's genius timing, too.
Insane deal.
Well, some people would argue everything around me is going up.
They said
price of the Quest just went down.
Also, this is temporary. This is just under 2 week sale from now. Lasting just under 2 weeks. It goes until April 26th at 8:59 p.m. Pacific time. So, 12 a.m. Eastern time. So, 13, 12 days from the time this episode drops to take advantage of this sale. And this is a U.S. sale, but there's similar deals in other countries as well, including the UK, Canada, and Europe. I know Europe's not a country, but that's just what the release says. It's $30, 30 euros off in Europe. In supported regions in Europe.
So it doesn't matter whether times are good or times are tough. It's like money saved is money saved, and that's a big one.
Mm-hmm. Although Meta says officially this deal is only available from the Meta store, there has been some retailers like Best Buy that have matched the deal as well too.
Well, some stores do price matching. Mm-hmm. So if you can show an online sale,
they kind of have to. So they just do it by default anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the deal officially is only through Meta's online store, but
those are called,
check your local retailers.
Those are called inventory moving sales.
Dude, $270 for a 3S is again insane. I mean, at that price, it's kind of hard to say get the 3. I mean, I still say the 3 is a significantly better.
3.
I'd still say it, yeah.
But if you're dealing with
multiple headsets, you need to get
more parents who are buying their kids headsets. It's like this is perfect. They shouldn't be playing on a 2. That's not fair.
If you don't have the money for a 3,
3S?
if you don't have the enough to get a full 3,
yeah, you say that, but if you're gonna pony up the money for a 3S, just wait a week. Wait 2 weeks.
I'm just saying, it's great that this option exists.
It's a good price.
$270.
I'll say that.
I'll say as well. I own a 3S and I own a 3, and I use the 3 day to day. The pancake lenses, dude. Our review episode of the 3 when it first came out, I was in a pancake costume.
Mm-hmm.
I was so hyped for pancake lenses. Like I can't. That is the feature of the Quest 3. Pancake lenses and color pass through. I mean, dude, that's so much of the experience to me. Those nice visuals, So,
well, dude,
it's hard to go backwards.
But again, as like buying it for younger people, teenagers, whatever, have another, or a travel headset.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you're getting off pretty cheap.
$270, and it still
leave
comes
the
with,
3 at home. Take the 3S,
and it still comes with Batman and 3 months of Quest Plus.
Yeah, and Quest Plus. Which,
dude,
probably going to turn over into a
all right. That's a good deal.
Full month to month.
That's all.
That's all. It's a great deal, man.
And $270.
But like you said, limited time only. So
till the 26th.
Don't mind F the thing out of it. Hey, I censored myself for the first time in 4 years.
I wish I had a plate of cookies. I'd give you one.
Right? I feel like I did something good. I had no reason to censor myself.
How mature we're all getting.
Just, trying to do better. This one's kind of cool.
Since we spent 30 minutes on it earlier.
Yeah, I might as well talk about it. I think we alluded to it. So Wanderer Fragments of Fate received its first hot fix on Quest and PlayStation 2.
And you teased that they fixed a issue that you were having.
Yeah, I'll even say Mighty Eyes, the developer, said the patch would focus on stability, fair enough, and resolving some serious pain points, in quotes. Notable fixes included stopping players from being pushed backwards after certain collisions. Yes, that is something.
Okay, that did happen to me when climbing ladders and stuff like
Correct.
that.
On a ladder.
Springboarded. Dude, one time I went so fucking far.
And that's also what made me think that like I could do that at will.
I thought that was a feature.
I tried to do that to get to that rope that
was a bug.
Had spoken to earlier, and in fact I felt like a sack of potatoes because guess what, the fix had happened. I kind of wish it hadn't.
I thought that was a feature, dude.
It also fixed a revolving hand spinning issue when holding certain items.
I didn't have that, luckily.
Several Echo Diviner fixes. Don't know what that means. Restoring missing assets in some levels and more, but they also have a second one coming.
Wow.
2 more.
Combat overhauls.
They're stating big updates to the height system, combat overhauls, thank you, and further stability performance improvements. And they will release more information in the next week.
Also about upcoming DLCs. That's interesting.
Yep.
So that means we're going to finish this game and go, there's going to be more?
I just like that they're being quick to listen to the fact that they're not going to settle for a 3-star rating.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to do what they need to do, and they're going to fix the complaints. The things that they're fixing are the absolute known issues that probably all players have suffered from.
Mm-hmm. And then they're going to go with a fine-tune.
Then they're going to make it,
optimize.
Yep. So this game, and what sucks is it just makes you wonder, like, each delay they had on this was 100. Thank God they delayed it as long as they did, but maybe they should have waited 30 more days.
Isn't that crazy to say?
Yep.
And you're not the only person that said that.
Yep.
I mean, if they already had these fixes out this fast, I had the same thought about Civ. Like, should they have just waited?
They already knew, dude.
2 weeks on Civ?
I just feel they were they were under the gun at that. It was like, just
we can't
fucking
do it again.
Do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as bad as it was 4 months ago, but they knew, 100% shit's not perfect.
How do you think it was that first time before it got delayed?
I think it was pretty bad. I think there was probably a lot of bugs.
It was probably like borderline unplayable.
Yeah. Then they were, they introduced some shit into the VR version that
into the VR version?
Or I'm sorry, into the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the fighting that people aren't happy with in general.
The first.
So who knows how difficult that was in VR.
And they say the next update's going to be a combat overhaul. I wonder what that means.
It's not going to be janky as fuck.
Dude,
the combat's my least favorite part of the game. And I'm blessed that it's not the majority of the game, at least so far for me.
Mm-hmm.
I've had to deal with it. I dealt with it again, and I haven't dealt with it since. And I'm cool with that. So I kind of, at first I was like, I don't see why people are upset that there'd be combat in the game. But now seeing like the puzzle element and the back and forthness, I'm like, oh, I kind of get it.
Does it even need the combat, kind of?
Probably not, especially not from what I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what the fuck are these things?
It probably makes it feel like overall more of a janky experience than it is because of it existing in there.
Into physical combat's a little...
It's hard when there's games like Blade and Sorcery that like...
just have it a little better. But I have faith in the studio.
Well, not just a little better.
I'm not even. Sometimes it makes me wonder if you have a game like this and you're doing fighting that Blade and Sorcery, like the space is kind of still friendly enough. It's really not, but it is kind of still friendly enough where you could probably reach out and be like, yo, man, you know,
help me a little bit with my physics.
How much do I got to play? Yeah, just look it over. Give me some advice, because you truly are. You're having to admit your own.
I mean, look, they got Blade and Sorcery running on the Quest, so performance can happen.
Dude,
Blade and Sorcery is no longer just a sandbox game. They have a full single player story campaign, dude. With stats,
great mechanics that work,
climbing, parkour in it. So, like, yeah, I mean, I get what you're. I mean, because somebody might say, "Well, dude,
just
the
for professional feedback, hire the fucking people."
Because one would say the combat's what it is because of performance. Like, oh, you can't have that kind of physics running when the game's already.
But I don't feel it's needed.
No,
like I don't feel.
But if I could go up behind the dude and grab him, and like
break his neck,
stab the knife in, or instead, like you walk up and you do a sneak attack, and it's like, didn't matter where you hit him.
I bum rush people with my fists.
Yeah,
I had lost an axe or something. I'm like, oh shit, and I'm like, well, what would happen? Pop, 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 pop. I'm like, okay.
And it doesn't even really matter where you hit them. The interaction's the same.
Yeah.
Like, if you can't do it right, probably don't do it.
How many people would complain if they just stripped it right out of the game?
That's kind of my thing. Yeah, if you can't do it right, don't do it.
Delete
because
it.
Everything else is done so right.
And if people are bitching about it, like, why is it even there? Then you're instantly appeasing. No, I don't think anyone's saying, like, we need more.
Well, and, like, look at the polish
but I don't know what happens later.
Yeah.
So I don't
Maybe
know.
There's a lightsaber fight, you know?
Who knows? I doubt it. But you don't know.
And like
beat him with a guitar.
The thing is, it probably feels less polished because everything else in the game is so highly done. The story, the climbing, the puzzles, and then you have that. And it's like, imagine if you got served a 6-course meal and like the 4th course in was just like ramen noodles. You'd be like, what? And everything else was like beef tartare. And
maybe like, it's the best ramen you ever had.
And I'm not saying anything wrong against ramen noodles. There's some good ramen noodles, but I'm saying like, the microwaved quick, know, just
beep, beep. Stir the pack in.
Chicken, which is delicious. Don't get me wrong.
I used to add peanut butter to my ramen noodles.
Dude, you can get real gourmet with them. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it would be out of place in a 6-course gourmet
Michelin
fine
star.
day. That's what I'm saying. Yes.
Yeah.
Because that's everything else in Wander.
Finest ramen.
Everything else in
Bro, that says 42 cents on the back.
And not that there's not gourmet ramen. There's really good ramen.
Still
ramen
ramen.
fanatics are going to come at me.
They can, but it's still ramen.
It would
The highest quality ramen is only going to be how many
a dried
ingredients?
packet of microwave ramen would be out of place in a Michelin star multi-course meal, and that's how the combat in Wanderer feels, because everything else is like Michelin star fine dining quality.
It's definitely going to get
Not the
better.
combat though. The combat's ramen noodles.
As somebody
40
who's
cent
not
noodles.
too upset about the game, I give it more than a 3-1 in my head, even with the shit combat. But
I've said it's my best game I've played in 2025 so far. That's come out. Like, it's my game of the year so far.
shocked it's not Civ.
Civ is my strategy game of the year.
It's gonna be an
Spoiler.
interesting year.
It's going to be hard to fight me on that, but I mean, hey, I don't get to pick everything, So,
True.
and who knows?
So
Maybe Total War comes out this year.
Let's God, I hope so. Let's
Command and Conquer.
I don't even want the first one. I want fucking Command and Conquer or Red Alert 2.
Anyway, though,
Just because the graphics are a little better.
great to see Wander already getting hot
not
fixes
messing around.
with more to come, combat overhauls, and DLC is coming. That's insane. Cool stuff. So, this next one, it developed it with a partnership between Free Lives, who is the developer of the original GORN game, as well as Cortopia Studios, who's a studio we know very well through games like Escaping Wonderland, as well.
Great game.
People don't talk about it anymore. If multiplayer games are tough in VR if you can't maintain like a huge player base, but one of the best successes we've ever had in VR multiplayer gaming was Juan's Alliances from Cortopia Studios. We went in with my friend Caleb, and we were cleaning house. We didn't do bad. I'm just saying.
We were building up a good strategy. We were supposed to take on the devs.
Yeah, and things kind of just fell through.
They had their holiday, and then they had other shit.
That was our first kind of interaction with Beyond Frames Entertainment, and it's cool how I didn't really know who they were at that time, right? We were kind of new to things. It's cool to see how things have developed. They're actually incredibly nice people. But Juan's Alliances, Escaping Wonderland, Cortopia Studios is an awesome game developer. And they've partnered, like I said, with the original developers of GORN to come out with the sequel of GORN creatively called GORN 2. It's the perfect name. You didn't need to go anything fancy for it.
It worked for the first one.
It's coming out on Quest and Steam it's coming out on Quest and Steam this week. Dude, I'm so hyped. It's coming out on April 17th. And then the PlayStation VR 2 version will follow later this summer.
Okay.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
I liked GORN. I
feel
like
like it's
GORN
kind
1.
of a shadowy drop there going on.
I feel like that there's this trend in VR right now where games are announced and then they're coming out shortly after, like a month after they're announced. Whereas I'm a little bit more of a traditionalist, man. I kind of like the game. I kind of like the game to have been announced for like 6 months minimum. Does that make you get what I'm saying? Like, I like that build up. I feel
some
like
games I'm just expecting they're going to shadow drop.
like when I
Depends
hear
on the studio.
like when I heard Civilization VII VR was coming, but it was coming next month. I'm like, that's no time to build up the.
Hey, you've had 4 years of hype, dude.
I hope
Vocal hype.
somebody heard me. I hope.
Maybe Zuck did.
No way.
He's
Zuck
like,
would have
"You know
done
what?
this without me ever saying a peep.
How many zeros I need to write to make this happen, huh?
I argued with people about it, dude. There's people that told me I was wrong. Do you remember this? People you would say that this isn't real VR gaming.
So I'm sure diehards will still.
I don't give a shit. It's fun as hell. And it's VR. It takes advantage of the medium completely. If it's better than in flat screen because of what VR offers, it's VR. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, though. Don't know how we got there. GORN 2 coming to Steam and Quest April 17th. Like I said, with a PlayStation VR 2 version coming later this summer. I'm excited to try it. I love the first GORN. I agree with you. Feels like a shadow drop. I haven't seen too much Don't know too much about what the sequel is going to offer. I kind of just feel like it's GORN.
It's going to be GORN.
I feel like it's GORN with more levels.
They know what they got. They know how to make it better. And
I don't feel like that there's going to be like a huge graphical difference. Like you, much.
I think it's going to graphically look better.
I think it's going to feel like, I think it's going to be GORN. I think you're going to be like, oh, dude, this is GORN.
We'll know in a month.
GORN with more levels, you know? But I think it's going to be worth every penny. You know, GORN was an awesome experience. So super excited to see Cortopia Studios attached to this as well. And stay tuned for our thoughts. Hopefully we get our hands on it and we can talk about it a bit next week.
Sweet.
Sweet.
All right. Price change.
What?
It's funny because whenever this studio raises a price, it's almost like they're the most apologetic people on the earth. They will not just
You think they hit you when they're telling it.
Yeah, they just don't do a price change and go like, oh, okay, there's the price, and you get nothing for it. So starting May 1st, the base game of Walkabout Mini Golf will now be increased from $15 to $25.
Thought it was already like $20, to be honest with you.
But with that, they're going to merge in 6 of their DLC courses, which will be Sweetopia, Laser Lair, Shangri-La, Upside Town.
Not Upside Down Town. I saw you almost say it.
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea and Alpham. They're still going to continue to make DLCs. They won't raise the price on those. They will sell for $4. If you were to just buy these DLCs individually, that would cost you $24. So essentially, you're getting the game for $1.
Oh my God.
If you already own the game but do not own the DLCs, on May 1st, you are going to receive those 6 DLCs as part of the package. Quest Plus users will also have instant access to those 6 DLCs.
Oh my God.
And the only elephant in the room is, what do they do to the people that bought all 6? There is actual discussion, possibly, who knows, that maybe they will do something for people.
If they never did, I don't feel any obligation either.
I don't see why it would matter.
Yeah.
I don't need anything.
Yeah.
But I will put it out there. If you want to drop an avatar, just something for people who did buy all 6, I personally don't feel there should be any.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a big deal or a
give me an OG
conversational
bandana
point.
for my avatar. I don't know.
Yeah, just, you know what I'm saying? Something stupid. Pair of sunglasses.
Yeah.
It just means you bought them all. Who cares?
I would honestly not want to see them do something like a putter. I'd be like, no, the whole community needs to be able to get every putter. You know what I mean? So it needs to be something small too, like an avatar.
Yeah.
It can't be
That's
something that's
the
like,
only thing I could think. Yeah, it can't be a special ball. Can't be a special course.
I would
can't be-
feel wrong, even though I'd be receiving it. I'd feel wrong. Like, no, that's.
I won't feel wrong. I'm just kidding. Make me an avatar of me. Nah, man. I don't.
That's over the top.
I don't
friendly.
think they have an obligation or should even give it a second thought.
Mm-hmm.
It almost
But
makes
it
me
speaks
sad.
to how they think.
Yeah, well, dude, when they did their initial price increase,
They
it was
gave you
like,
$24 worth of
It
content.
was like the world was falling.
They're giving you the entire cost of the game in free content.
Yeah, on a game that if you have Quest Plus, you already have.
The game wasn't
Like, OMG, dude.
the game shouldn't have been $15 before anyway.
No, I thought it would have
Been
But they're not-
$19.99.
At least they justified the jump. It's like we're giving you almost
Beyond.
a higher value of the game than
Game's worth every penny. Now you get those.
so.
And
May 1st, folks.
look at what they did. Look at these geniuses. They gave you like one course
Mhm.
from like each one of their
Each of the
categories.
sections.
They
Yeah.
gave you one of the evil layers,
A licensed course.
a licensed course
So.
for free.
May 1st. If you don't own them, you do now.
The most controversial course in Walkabout history they gave you for free. Upside Down. Never heard more conflicted opinions on any course. I liked the course personally. It was a mix up in everything, but you want to get some passionate discussions going.
There's not a course. I would argue some of their earlier courses I might not like as much as their later courses, but that would be expected in my head. That would the progression of the company and how things have changed and everything just gets better every time they do it. That I would expect that. It'll be a sad day if I ever see a course that's
No, I get 100% what you're saying. It's not negative, but if you play their most recent course and then you go back to the first courses,
yeah.
there's a huge
But
quality
there are
difference.
some that
So, dude,
stick to those first.
not for nothing. It's actually smart that they give those new ones for free too, because it gets those new players to see some of their new, like their improvements that they've made. If
But you have good. You start the game with good base courses, anyways.
yeah, but some of the mechanics in Laser Lair, some of the
No,
mechanics.
they're smart with what they're doing.
In Sweetopia.
And they know
like,
what they're
yeah,
doing.
they're good. They're smart. And they didn't get...
They finally figured out that they can make better money. We figured out a way to actually make some better money.
$25 is no... That's a steal. So, this is a great one. Silent North is out now in early access alpha
One of the best trailers.
on Quest
Fucking
and Steam.
love the theme music, dude.
$19.99. Like I said, available in early access. It's got a 3.5, but already at 211 reviews on the
There's
store.
some angry peeps.
Yeah, but it's still got a lot of 5 stars too. It's got 47% 5-star, 11% 4, 9% 3, 9% 2, 24% 1.
You know the worst part? If App Lab was still in existence, that would be a higher score.
Yeah. Don't get me started.
Because you would know.
Yeah. You can write early access or alpha on this as much as
it happens on Steam too.
Yeah, App Lab was perfect. We got rid of it, but we had a great interview with Scott. Honestly, I think maybe our best interview we've ever had with Scott.
That was nice.
It was good.
You could see the new studio. Well,
Yeah,
you could see a like 4% of the new studio in the back. Dude, it's so big.
Just solid interview.
It's a department store. It's huge.
So if you haven't checked that out yet, go check it out. But Silent North out now in early access alpha.
I
on
listened
Quest
to
and
the
Steam,
I listened to the audio for the trailer the other day. Just the music.
Proper D does, and their whole media team.
Dude, the composer
Z-Storm.
did a great job as well.
Yeah, the media team over there crushes it.
And I wonder if Proper had to do that trailer before hearing that music, or the music was written after the trailer.
Hey, maybe we'll see him. We can ask him soon.
Someday,
Mm-hmm.
I hope. So I mean, this is more of a rumor. It's a rumor. So I'll say it's alleged, but there's a report that claims Apple Vision Pro 2 is in mass production already, which kind of contradicts earlier rumors about it. But this came from a Chinese news outlet. This didn't come from state news, we'll say. Take it for what it's worth. The one thing that I do like about it is we're getting a Pro 2. We're not necessarily us, but the world is getting a Pro 2.
It seems like there's enough whispers about it that it's a thing. They didn't drop out of the industry.
Why? Yeah, even specific suppliers. So why it would be rumor, I don't know. Like, there's nothing to gain from it, so I almost tend to believe it. It's like, what's the big deal? So we'll see.
To you, this is just like telling you what you already expected.
Yeah.
But hey, at least
Like
it's
being
saying
manufactured.
It's
just
good.
weird that there'd be conflicting reports to go, no, we're not. We haven't mass manufactured anything, even though they're claiming there's parts of this that are under full blown.
I bet
full
you
blown manufacturing.
somebody has one. Somebody has one.
Hopefully, they don't leave it at a bar.
If they're entering mass production, that's funny. If they're entering mass production,
you got that.
You remember that?
Yeah. Only regret to that is that dude gave it back, didn't he?
Remember when there was the Quest Pro left at a hotel?
Put it in quotes, bro.
And
Wink.
There was the hotel worker went on Upload VR.
Yeah, found it in the garbage.
That was a funny thing to talk about. I forget about that one, dude. That happened.
I'll let you guess this story. My favorite, funniest thing we've ever talked about. Haven't talked about it in half a year.
I know what year it is. The molested in the metaverse.
Yep.
By the person that was making a metaverse competitor.
Yeah.
Conveniently had a huge slander piece.
Yeah.
But she was making her. She was trying to make she was working for a company that was also making a Horizon Worlds-esque.
They made me drink
Vodka.
Had me bend over and were saying lewd things.
At a time where there was no legs yet. We didn't have legs yet.
You couldn't technically in some instances couldn't violate someone's space unless you let them.
Beep. Shut off your headset.
Holy crap. That was still like, I remember when that happened, like just how funny it really was.
Yeah, we had a good time.
But the news really wrote it up as a
big spiel.
So again, whether or not this is really in the full production, we know it's really something that's happening, which means Apple is not going to slow down in their monetary investments into their vision of how to use VR and where to use it.
Yeah,
or MR, XR, VR, all are.
It's coming. So I'll be quick on this one because there's some good and there's some weird in here. Quest version 76 is coming. And it adds a cool feature. It adds live captions in any app, including VR.
Spooky.
So like, but if, accessibility reasons, that's awesome. Doesn't matter what the app does, you can have captions appear. That's awesome.
Oh, this next part is fucking great.
However,
I'm going into our Discord after this drops.
Horizon Worlds is now built in and unable to be installed. The Horizon Worlds app has also been renamed to just Worlds. And yeah, the option to uninstall it's gone. I don't like that.
Which means they have the option to force feed those apps onto your...
Well, so if you click on a Horizon World app, it would show up in your library. And the way that you could remove that was by uninstalling Horizon Worlds. Now none can. Now it stays with you forever.
It's ingrained. I do like the change to Worlds.
That's a slicker name.
Smart move.
I don't like Horizon.
No.
I don't like this Meta Horizon. Oculus Quest.
Mm-hmm.
You had it the best 3 years ago. What are you doing? What are we doing? You went to Meta everything. And then you went
meta.
Horizon.
Yeah, the Horizon.
Let's go back
Horizon
to Quest.
Was a tough one.
So yeah, I agree. Worlds it actually
Worlds
sounds
is good.
elegant, right?
It sounds better than Horizon Worlds.
Yo, you want to go hop in Worlds for a bit?
Go check out some Worlds, man.
Dude, it kind of has a flow to it.
And, right, check it out. My brain pretty much can grasp what my expectation would be. Oh,
Yeah.
so it's going to be different worlds and shit?
Yeah,
man.
Dude, that way better name.
Horizon Worlds?
Let me uninstall it, though.
No,
That part's not cool, bro.
that's not going to go over the greatest. Someone will figure out a workaround.
Yes. And then,
The uninstall app.
everyone always laughs about Reality Labs not being profitable. It's about to be profitable for everyone's favorite reason. Advertisements, baby. We're getting system level advertising IDs. Meta says it's rolling out a unique device identifier that advertisers can use to show you more relevant ads on the Meta Horizon operating system. Take that for what it is. I've never seen an ad on my operating system. And then you can also enable or disable your advertising ID at any time by going to your settings in your headset. I hope that this means that breachers will be able to, that they'll be able to the Triangle Factory, they'll be able to advertise Frontline to me, to wishlist now or pre-order. I hope that's what it means. And I hope that doesn't mean I'm going to log in and see an sausage egg McMuffin from Mickey D's pushed my way.
And Taco Bell.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a way that I could deal with this, and there's a way that's going to be very annoying. Let's see.
What if your headset will order it for you?
Dude, I don't want to go there.
Hey, Meta, order me my taco
I don't want to go
special.
there.
Order me my favorite.
I don't want to go there.
Your order's been placed.
But if, it allows developers to advertise to users, I'm actually for that. Just advertise me relevant games let's do it, I hope it's not Mickey D fries and sausage egg McMuffins and hash browns and stuff, Good old Frosty from Wendy's, I'm all set. Gee, that's not what I want on my headset home screen. So let's see what that means. 76 is a weird one, though.
Yeah, I don't know how the advertisement one I'm skeptical
Yeah,
of.
to me it's wait and see, it's ugh. All
right. So here's a cool one. I own it on flat screen, known as Beseige, where you build catapult type weaponry and shit, put wheels on it, knock down castle walls. Seems easy. It's not. It'll start off real easy and then it's going to...
Fun game, though?
Oh, dude. It's... If you like building shit and create, you're not limited to creativity. Pretty much build it as you want. They give you specific parts. As the game moves on, you get better parts you can use.
Oh, dude, that looks sick.
It is sick. But a lot of them, you have to drive it into the castle. It's not just as easy as put a gun on it.
When you think of it, does it feel like it would work for VR?
100%. I mean,
okay.
Yeah.
So this is like a day oneer for you.
Almost. Yeah. It's coming out in May.
Can wishlist it now.
Developed by 3R Games.
Ooh,
Best known for?
Those are our boys.
Hey, it's everybody's favorite uncle. Thief Sim.
Yep. We got to see them at Connect as well, too.
And their upcoming
the
game,
CEO.
Cave Crave.
Wicked cool guy. Their CEO is awesome. Pitor?
Yeah, man. It's going to have haptic response to every crushing impact, too. Yeah. It's physics-based sandbox.
Hell yeah.
But, what they're showing you in the little preview is far advanced shit than you're going to start building.
So it's going to be $20.
Mm-hmm.
Check out this line on the Upload VR article. Despite 3R games describing this as a remake, Beseige VR can also import your machines from the VR or from the PC version onto Quest.
Okay. So you can put it in your file.
It says, however, the studio also notes that not all machine sizes and features will be one-to-one transferable to VR due to hardware limitations.
50 levels.
Campaign levels.
50 campaign levels.
For $20, perfect pricing. Nailed it. Boom.
It can be a little tough.
It's good. This is a day oneer for me.
Yeah, no, I'm
hyped.
I was all over the
sandbox environments.
I was all over
to
the
freely build too.
Yeah,
dude, I'm hyped.
Some of these you'll see. It's fun. I recommend it. Sight unseen. I just pray for a smooth launch for them. So,
I love the studio.
Yeah.
I've never played the flat screen one like you, but
it's good.
Concept wise, I'm sold.
It's good. I'll still go back every now and then. I'll go back. Admittingly, I don't obviously play it a lot, but
they're getting a very curious message from me after we're done recording, saying, "Hey, is that able to be played now? Because that looks freaking good."
Definitely, it's ready. They're a month out. I mean, they can still do a couple of minimal things, but time's ticking. If you're going to be a month out, you got like 2 weeks, man.
You're lucky we don't stop recording right now. You know, it's not
right. You said, "Hey Alexa, set a reminder."
All right, so I'm hyped for that. So hyped. Starvault VR is another great looking game. It's a upcoming game. It's a 5v5 first person shooter MOBA coming to the MetaQuest, developed by Thea Games. So let me spell it out in case I'm pronouncing it wrong. THEIA. So Thea Games. It's going to be team based, like I said, 5v5, requiring skill, strategy, and fast reflexes. This looks fun, man. People have been wanting a MOBA in VR for quite a while. Right now, you can get access. You can request access to their closed beta by joining their Discord and requesting access there. But it's coming this year. Come on, man. Looks freaking tight.
How much?
No price or info. No price yet. But it's going to have physics-based combat. Weapons are bow and arrows, melee weapons, long-range weapons, high-powered guns. You can some heroes use traditional joystick movement, others the guerrilla style movement. So
everybody's favorite.
It's gonna launch for the Quest 2 and Quest 3, which will help for player amounts for a 5v5 game. That means you need 10 players in. That's gonna be the hardest part.
Mm-hmm.
But it sounds like
people like MOBAs though.
There's going to be 7 announced heroes that each have their own unique stories, weapons, abilities, strengths, weaknesses, etc. So, it's going to be important that everyone plays different roles, it sounds.
Yeah, you'll be dependent upon...
everyone picks the same character. It don't work like that,
you might be screwed. Well, especially if you run into five people not.
Sometimes these games don't let 2 people on the same team pick the same character as well, too.
Dude, it always sucks, Speed. Don't you have a friend that always picks healer?
Yeah, dude,
that's
what
a great friend.
What a saint!
Anybody that ever wants to be like wizard or healer,
and people are always so mean to the hero. I'm like, dude, Tim's being the healer.
Yeah,
you don't understand. That's
literally the most critical player.
Nobody wants
to be it.
But without your healer,
want to be a nurse.
Dude,
that's what it is. Dude.
And a good healer who's paying attention to everyone's levels,
combat and stuff. Oh, healers suck.
You literally have to just stay back and monitor everyone's health.
Was that who used to play with us in fucking Juan's Alliances?
No, that was Caleb.
Because he used to always heal us.
Yeah, he was
really good at healing.
Caleb was good too, yeah.
You can just tell when people are good human beings by the you're just a fucking, who's the biggest, baddest dude I can fuck people up with? That's who you're picking. I already know it. Mm-hmm. I'm like, who can I pick off from a distance with my fucking bow and arrow? Mm-hmm. And then you get your friend who's going to jump in and be like, no, I'll heal you guys so you guys can have all the fun.
Dude,
my turn is going to go to making your experience better.
And anyone who's a healer, you're a saint. 100%. The worst position to be, though, you get no credit, but it's the most important.
Yeah.
So this one looks great. Starvault VR coming to Quest soon.
I can't wait to try it. End Dreams. I like End Dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Good studio, good peeps. So... Frenzies is going to remain free when it comes out later this year.
Call it Frenzies?
Frenzy. I call it Frenzies.
I'm
Frenzies.
I'm joking. They should throw an extra E in the name, though. So it's Frenzies.
Frenzies.
Because it's free now.
Freezies.
Freezies.
We'll call it In Dreams Freezies. Freezy Dreams. Frenzy Dreams. Ooh, that's not bad. Frenzy's Dreams. So it is currently available in early access, but it is slated full release later this year, and it's going to remain free, but it won't be remaining or going anywhere near PSVR 2. But In Dreams said...
Yeah, you said that. Just can't just say it's not coming. It's not coming and won't be going anywhere near.
Sorry, it won't be going anywhere near PSVR 2.
Yeah, it's like
it's
just went
diseased.
wrong, you know.
Yep. They said, screw you, PSVR 2. No, in all seriousness, they said they have other games that are going to go on. They are not
maybe fit the platform more than a free to play game.
Yeah, I don't think Sony's down with this free shit, and neither am I. I've said it to developers to their face. I've questioned developers to like, why? I don't understand it. Like, I'd want to survive and make money to put back into my game, and you can't always be guaranteed people are going to buy DLCs, and it sucks if people have good games and Gods of Gravity.
Look, the Quest ecosystem, it was a mature coffee shop where adults hung out, had adult conversations, drank coffee, and now it's where the kids come and hang out.
Yeah.
That's what happened. It's no longer our coffee shop that we loved, you know?
It's got to be Frenzies. Yeah, it is Frenzies.
It is. That's 100% how you pronounce it. I was just messing around.
I'm like, I know I've heard them say
I was just trying to throw the word free.
Frenzies.
It just doesn't work. It doesn't roll on your tongue.
Nah, it's cool. It's also weird to see a studio like In Dreams that it's been around just be giving shit away. This is why people get laid off. You know what I'm saying, though? Like,
I'm hesitant of the free-to-play market for some games that make sense.
It bothers me.
Maybe for this game, it does make sense, too. I think
developers,
I'm cautious that there's going to be an overreaction towards it.
I think in a lot of cases, and people are going to say, well, Gorilla Tag. And I'm like, yeah, but Gorilla Tag's audience is like 12 and less.
Gorilla Tag brought a gameplay mechanic that didn't exist yet.
But it's not bulk adult played. You get what I'm saying?
But they invented that gorilla style movement and everything.
Did
you invent a whole new gameplay mechanic?
I believe free to play devalues the property. That's what I'm saying.
This to me is
like, I have $1 million house. You got squatters living in your yard. You're devaluing my property.
This to me is the 90% off again, just in a different outfit.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, it's been free to play. It's going to stay free to play, which I get at that point, you know. But whatever. Mm-hmm. I'm just barking at I'm not on the financial end of things.
And again, maybe for this game specifically, it does make sense, but I'm cautious for developers.
I don't think it ever makes sense. I'll say it, dude. I mean, there's a time and a place. Fucking apps. Make a phone app. You want to make shit for free? Make a phone app. The market's still viable. But we're trying to, let's be honest. We all want this to be the best ecosystem, the best place for. Don't plant that seed that you can make a free game because a handful have done it and been successful. Gorilla Tag did it. They're successful. Gods of Gravity crushed it. Yeeps. Gods of Gravity. Come on, man.
All right.
But
I feel you. I get it.
I know. it makes me sad.
I agree with you too.
Makes me sad. I can't pay money.
All right. Dimensional Double Shift, which I referenced quick when we talked about Alchemy Labs at PAX East.
I loved it.
We got to play it at Gamescom, and it's out now for anyone to play. In fact, they've surpassed over 500,000 downloads on the MetaQuest store. It's co-op. There's hand tracking. You all have to work together, kind of Cookout-esque, to accomplish tasks as employees of Gas and Grill. It's a great concept. It's silly, classic it's Alchemy funny. Labs humor. And they have added their first paid expansion is out now on the MetaQuest. So good for them. They're finding out how to monetize this beast that has over 500,000 downloads. The base game is free. That's why it's interesting to see them do this paid. Again, you got to figure out how to monetize at some point. But this paid expansion pack is only $4.99. Very fairly priced.
Which they could have charged for the game.
Yeah, easy.
The game's better than $4.99.
And it's such a fun game.
Mm-hmm.
Even for team building and dude. And the entire party of players won't need to buy the DLC. Only one player in your party needs to own it, and then you can play it in a party with the other ones. Over the top consumer friendly, right? Dude, you're speechless right now.
I am, because like the CE owl, right? It's like none of that surprises me.
Yeah.
Dude, just good energy,
Good
just
vibes.
I can't say anything. I just don't like free. I think we even said that to him.
Mm-hmm.
We don't like free.
But Dimensional Double Shift, wicked fun game.
Hell yeah. So a Mark Gurman report that Apple Vision Pro 2, here it is again in the news, twice in the same week. So what does that mean? It means it's happening. It's actually going to be cheaper. Who knows how much cheaper? Could be $5 cheaper.
It's going to be $2,000 now. Ooh.
Right. And they're going to call that cheaper.
Oh, people are going to praise them for it.
It's supposed to be lighter. Not necessarily just fancy dancy chips and stuff to make it faster.
Lighter on your head, lighter on your wallet.
It could just be lighter on your wallet, actually, right? But no, I'm kidding. Allegedly, they're working on
a chip upgrade
2 new headsets.
Yeah, there's gonna be a chip upgrade in there too.
Yep, and a new Mac tethered headset for you Macaholics.
Interesting. There is
That's
a
like
bunch
a cult, dude.
There is a bunch of Vision Pro references in their newest operating systems on the newest iPhones and stuff. So hopefully this is just an indicator.
I like how this article references the other news earlier that references, hey, allegedly they're in mass production too. I think this is just being hyped up.
And
coming
now,
quicker.
This next one. I remember when this first was announced that Meta and Lufthansa, they were trialing Quest 3 headsets on business class.
Oh, such a good one.
Yeah. It has now won an airline industry award because it was only available for business class suite customers on Lufthansa Airlines. Airline I've never heard of or used before.
I've heard of them, never flown them.
But if you went business class, you would get a Quest 3, and that's part of like a trial program, and it received overwhelming feedback. And now,
Steam porn.
It won the MSM Digital. I'm sorry. It won the 2025 Airline Passenger Experience Association Award for Best In-Flight Entertainment. And now they're looking to expand this to other airlines as well as optimizing their product suite. So they want to start to roll this out to the other airlines too, dude. There's a day you might start to roll into an airline and use a VR headset for your entertainment.
Well, some people do already.
Yeah, but
to see the masses do it would be kind of cool.
Sounds like it'll come preloaded with content, some movies, and stuff like that.
Put that on and just put your head back and just you could fall asleep in it.
In-flight entertainment, like there,
10-foot TV screen,
dude. What do both of us put our flight screen on for so much of the flight?
The tracker,
dude.
You know, what I'm thinking is if you could somehow play Microsoft Flight and you could fly the same route at the same time.
Yeah, so that's cool to see. It's cool that it's expanding. Cool that it was well received, and it cool that it won an award.
It doesn't shock me. I think, people who don't use VR, if it was strictly for just TV viewing or like watching movies on the flight.
You want to get annoyed for a second?
Do tell. They charging?
No, you can play interactive games like Connect 4 and chess on it, but why isn't that available on the base headset as is? Fuck off. That means you have it.
It was made special just for the...
Don't I always say that those type of games should be preloaded on a Quest?
Yeah.
And look, they have it.
Resolution games?
Get out of here.
Is that your shot at resolution?
I can't believe that.
No, I'm just... It's kind of cool.
No, cool. Huge props.
Speaking of cool...
Last piece of news before we go upcoming games to wrap this baby up.
Yeah, so although we know Pico has the leg
making moves.
Pico making big moves. They have the leg trackers. If you own the leg trackers, you can add now a waist tracker.
No, I'm just kidding.
Well, it's funny because
what are you going to use it for?
It's fucking 90 euros, 80 to 90
What are you
euros.
going to use the waist tracker for?
I'm saying thrust in motions, or you're doing dancing and stuff.
A little salsa dancing.
Mainly for VR chat is where this will come in most useful.
For those hump worlds.
Leg tracking and VR chat. So I mean it's
down and dirty on the dance floor. in
Yeah,
VR
man.
chat. See me doing the worm.
Oh, the waist version's 40 to 50 euro.
Okay.
And I believe
I'm just talking shit too. For the full body tracking is such a big part of VR chat and stuff.
There's
for
no
those
bundle.
niche players.
So you have to buy the waist and the ankles separately.
I'm surprised that these type of accessories don't exist on the Quest. I mean, yeah, it's pretty crazy to me.
Okay, so they've been sold as a pair for 80 to 90. The waist will cost you 50 to 40. The whole setup costs you 140 to 120. But damn, dude. I mean, I'm looking at the little, I get it. Yeah, for VR chat, that'd be great. Not my jam. But you really want to add some waist movement into your, what if you're salsa dancing?
Yeah, I mean, hey.
Pico
like
making good moves.
I like that they exist. That's
I
cool.
don't know why we don't have that.
All right. Fun news. Fun episode, really. Let's wrap it up, as always, with our upcoming games in 2025. Do you want to do these first bunch of April, or do you want to do the May ones?
Doesn't matter. I can do the start.
Okay. Taking us through the rest of April.
Rest of the month. April 2025. Make sure my coffee's here. You're a good boy, Reg. So GORN 2, April 17th, PC VR and Quest, as discussed earlier. iRobot, April 17th, PSVR 2. Lucky for them. Rival Stars Horse Racing VR Edition, who was on the Ruff Talk VR showcase, April 17th, PC VR and Quest. The Descent, April 22nd, PC VR. Elements Divided, April 23rd, PC VR and Quest. Ghost Town, spooky, April 24th on Quest. Stay Forever Home,
Also
April 24th on Quest, also featured on the Ruff Talk VR showcase. Umani Grove, April 24th, PC VR, Pico, and Quest. Going deep. Vestiges, can't freaking wait. Vestiges Fallen Tribes, April 24th, a couple weeks away. PC VR and Quest. Vertigo 2, Into the Ether, April 25th, PC VR. Yeah, I'm checking is April 2025 or April 25th? We'll say 25th.
That one was 25th.
We'll say 25th.
It's possible 25 comes up later, but it's actually 2025.
Secret of Antares, April 29th, PC VR. Levity Race, April 30th, PC VR. Lots of PC VR. Guys are getting force-fed a whole bunch of good shit. Alex and the Jets, April 25th. Quest 3. Ooh, Quest 3 exclusive. Polyego, April 25th, PSVR. And Pico. Not PSVR 2? Interesting. The Obsessive Shadow, April 2025, PSVR, PSVR 2. And Under the Pillow, way too many jokes, April 2025 on Quest and Steam.
All right. Now taking us through May, we have Barely Escape on May 1st, coming to PC VR and Quest. We have Dig VR coming May 1st to PC VR and PSVR 2. Great game. We have the Midnight Walk. That's the clay style game. Mm-hmm. That's coming May 8th to PC VR and PSVR 2. We have Vendetta Forever coming May 8th to PC VR, already out on the Quest. We have Slender, The Arrival VR coming May 13th to PC VR, PSVR 2, and Quest. We have Owling, Crowling, Bowling coming May 15th to PC. Sorry. Owling, Crowling, Bowling. Now you got too long of an episode. May 15th, PC VR. Tunnels coming May 15th to Quest. Get Out, A Very Bad Dream Story coming May 16th to PSVR 2.
Sounds lovely.
Holy shit. I'm not saying anything. Out of Sight VR coming to PC VR May 22nd. That's one. Going to be a little biased on. Coming to PC VR through Flat to VR Studios. We have Quantum Threshold coming May 22nd to PC VR and Quest. Zombie Army VR. Super hyped for this one. Coming May 22nd. Damn, May 22nd is going to be one of them days. Coming to PC VR, PSVR 2, and Quest. F1 25 should have come out May 25, but whatever. Coming out May 30th to PC VR. We have Beseige VR. The rest of these are coming sometime in May. Beseige VR coming sometime in May to the Quest. Honeypot, also on the Ruff Talk VR Gaming Showcase, coming in May to the Quest. Requisition VR. Yes. You remember that one on PC VR? I'm so excited for that to be on Quest. That's coming to Pico and Quest sometime this month. Smurfs Flower Defense, coming sometime in May to the Quest 3 specifically. Trailblazer, The Untold Story of Mrs. Benz, coming sometime in May to Quest. Vivarium, coming I've seen them all over the socials. They're coming sometime in May to Quest. And V-Rider, SBK, coming sometime in May to PC VR and PSVR 2. And that's a wrap, folks. Takes us through a long episode. Maybe we have some interviews coming later this week.
That's long.
It's so fucking long, and we have interviews dropping later this week. So much content.
We are jerks.
Yeah. All right. Thank you all for listening. With Rival Stars Horse Racing coming out later this week, we'll have an interview dropping on Wednesday. Stay tuned for that. Maybe we can talk some thoughts on it next week as well, because I think it'll be out by then. Drops on the 17th, so stay tuned. And then other than that, hope you all had a great day. Hope you all enjoy the rest of your week. Stay tuned for our interviews. Hope you enjoyed our banner. Subscribe, rate us 5 stars. The Patreon is always available. And we will check you out later this week. Ciao, ciao.